next question is directed to the candidates for District 3. So that's Mr. Daniel and Ms. Rowe who are here, and we'll go in that order. High quality education for all has been shown to enhance economic development. How has the school system worked to close the achievement gap between students of varying socioeconomic backgrounds? And what can be done to ensure all students, regardless of background, thrive in our school system? And we'll start with Mr. Daniel.
Well, I'll have a difficult time answering that because I haven't been here. I've been here last year, but 5 years before that, I was in Texas, and I don't know what we've done. I see slides. We have a lot of slides. We have quite a few people that throw up slides, and it says, we have closed the achievement gap. And that's the slide, but it doesn't say in what, you know. Attendance, discipline problems, scores, test scores, graduation rate, whatever. So I don't know what we've done to it. I don't know that we have closed the gap, and if I do, I don't know what we have closed it in. But I think we need to try, regardless of where we have it not, I think we need to try to meet the needs of all the students. We need to try to meet the needs of all of them. Of course, some of them have IEPs, we know that, but all students need to be encouraged.
For those who IEPs, just for the audience, some may not know what IEPs are.
That's the individual plans that we have for kids who have special needs.
Okay.
You know, whether they're ADD or whatever. But anyway, they have certain plans, and the system takes care of those. But I think we need, rather than punishing all the kids, I think we need to see what the root problem is. We need to try to meet their needs in any way that we can. It's about keeping them in school, keeping them interested, and finally getting them to graduate. You know, it doesn't matter what your scores are on the CRCT, the 3rd and 5th grade. No industry comes in and looks at your 3rd and 5th grade scores. They want to see your graduation rate. So what we need to do is keep kids in and encourage them and try to meet all their needs with all the resources that we have.
Thank you. Ms. Rowe?
Jim, could you repeat the question?
Sure. How has the school system worked to close the achievement gap between students of various socioeconomic backgrounds? And what can be done to ensure that all students, regardless of background, thrive in the system?
I think we've decided in the Troup County school system that we need to even begin before our children get to school. We have worked as a community to develop many early learning initiatives such as BELL, Being Early Learners for Life, and have started going into homes and teaching parents how to be better parents so that some of those socioeconomic conditions are eased to begin with. That way when our children get into pre-K and into their earlier years, they have a background, and that helps. As they get into the school system, we have what we call parallel block scheduling, and a lot of our teachers will recognize that as extension labs. We take all of our children and they're taught on grade level, but the ones that need to be remediated are taught at a certain, taken out, and then the ones that need to be accelerated are also done the other way, and then they come back together. So the children are getting everything they need, if they need acceleration, if they need remediation. And it is working. It is closing the achievement gap. We see that. Mr. Daniel said that we show lots of slides. We do. We're very proud of those slides. We are teaching to all children in the Troup County school system.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next question is directed to the candidates for District 5. So Mr. Callaway and Ms. Burdett. And it's actually related to the comment that Mr. Daniel just made a minute ago. When the question is, our next question is for our District 3 candidates, and we'll begin with Ms. Rowe. K through 12 budgets have been deeply cut. The Troup County school system has lost more than $53 million in funding since 2004 levels and faces a projected $3.2 million shortfall for fiscal year 2014. What specifically will you do to balance the budget, either in terms of budget cuts or revenue enhancements?
How well I understand this question with what we've been through for the past 2 years, and And we have had to make some really tough decisions. We've had to close a couple of schools. We've had to decrease some teaching positions. But we have a wonderful process in place now. When Dr. Pugh came to us, he brought what he called performance-driven budgeting. And then he also established an advisory task force that's made up of teachers and principals and some parents from different areas. I think it was like a 50-person task force. And these people actually got presented all the facts. And it was great in that they were able to make some suggestions to the board, but they also learned the process of the budget process. It was very helpful when we had to start making those tough decisions that a lot of people understood that process. So I would say for the upcoming budget year, when we're looking at all those cuts, we will again do the performance-driven budgeting, and we will have the task force, and they will make recommendations to us. And hopefully the economy might improve a little bit, and we won't have that much to cut, but it'll be another tough year, I'm sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Daniel? Yes, sir. K through 12 budgets have been deeply cut. The Troup County school system has lost more than $53 million in funding since 2004 and faces a projected $3.2 million shortfall for fiscal year 2014. What specifically will you do to balance the budget in terms of budget cuts and/or revenue enhancements?
Well, I'm really concerned about our budget.
So it's concerned about
I hope that was a sound of agreement right there. Okay, let me go back to this. First of all, I personally do not think that the Troup County school system has a money problem. I think we have a spending problem, you know? And we keep talking about $53 million in the last 10 years that the state has cut us. But we failed to bring out the fact that SPLOST has brought us in about 125, in 3 SPLOST I think is around 165, 175 million. We talk about how much we've cut, but we don't talk about what comes in. You know, we got to allow for that. I think we waste money. You know, our SPLOST projects, yeah, we got $55 million on SPLOST 3. Not many of you know that $7 million of that went to interest. It went to banks and lawyers because we were so eager to do those projects. We couldn't make time for the money to come in first. You know, you don't spend money that you don't have. The SPLOST money's coming in, you wait till it comes in. No roofs were falling in, you know. Nothing was dangerous. $7 million was a lot of money. And so I think we wasted it. I know this probably sounds harsh. I just think $1 million for a superintendent in 5 years is a bit much. A millionaire in 5 years, I think that's a bit much. I think $68,000 for somebody to come in and tell us if our schools are in good or bad shape, that's too much. I think $800,000 for people to tell us how to lower our electric bill, I think that's a bit too much. $800,000. Common sense tells you to turn your thermostats right, cut your lights off. I just think we're wasted. Thank you.
Our next question is for the District 3 candidates, and we'll start with Ms. Rowe. The Center for American Progress recently conducted a study that showed that students were more prepared for college and the modern workforce if they had access to technology in the classroom. Do you believe that our schools have adequate technology in the classroom? And if not, what would you do to improve access to technology?
I believe particularly in our elementary schools that we have excellent technology available in all the premium boards that we have. That is an excellent tool for teaching children. It excites them. Our teachers love them. We're getting them in almost every classroom, and hopefully we will have them in every classroom. but it's a great tool, and if you've never seen one in action, you need to just go into one of our elementary schools and observe it. The children are excited, the teachers are excited. We spend a good bit of money in the Troup County school system on technology. I believe that we have sufficient technology. I have a child who's at the University of Georgia, and she was trained in our school system, and she'll say, "Move out of my way, Mom, and let me get at it." You know, they are just very, very technologically efficient when they leave our school system. We have ways we measure children with our technology. That's helping us drill down and pinpoint target areas of children that have needs. So I feel that I think we will continue to have to spend a lot of money on technology, because that's the coming thing, and we have to improve every year, and we do spend a lot of money, but it's well worth it, and I think we have great technology in our school system.
Thank you. Mr. Daniel?
Well, I haven't been in our schools, so I really couldn't make a sound judgment on the quality that we have. I hadn't been into the quality to visit inside our schools, but I think that it's a world of technology now. I mean, that's the way it is. And it's passed some of us by. I know my son has to show me how to use our cell phone. He goes, "Dad, you and Mom, y'all just so slow." But the technology world is rapidly growing, and I think our kids have to have it. We need to spend the money on technology. I'll agree with that 100%. But right now, I have no criticism of the amount of technology, because I don't know exactly, what is into the schools. So, I would hope that I would be able to visit schools sometimes and see what we have. But I have no criticism of the technology efforts now.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is for District 5 candidates, and we'll begin with Mr. Callaway.